KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Got a video today that is going to be 7 great work knives in the collection. It was hard for me to get down to 7, but I figured out a way to do it. And then I got one that's an honorable mention, and I'll explain all that. But first, you can pick up some of these knives yourself. Head on over to D&K Knives and pick yourself out something nice. But whatever you do, once you get ready to check out, be sure to use code KnifeDope for 10% off your purchase. I would. We love you, Don Farmer. All right, enough of that. The way I put these in order was I went based on price. So I started out with the cheapest knife on the list, and then we ended up with the most expensive knife on the list. But real quick, the honorable mention. This one is the Demco AD 20.5, which is a fantastic knife, fantastic work knife. But there's a reason why it's not on my list of 7, and I'll explain as to that. I ended up going with another knife in place of this one. There's really only one, well, there's 2 reasons as to why this didn't make the final list. Number one is the way the knife comes with the blade grind. The geometry is not the best for slicing. That changed, however, once I sent this over to BGM Knives. I had them put this fantastic hollow grind on it. But, you know, the blade steel, 3V blade steel. It's a great steel, very tough, great working steel. It's just not corrosion resistant, especially for me here in the South. Very humid temperatures down here. And I had a bad experience with one. Literally the very first 3V version of this knife I had bought. I had it in the pocket maybe 15 minutes. I shit you not. 15 minutes, I'm outside breaking down some boxes. I go to take the knife out, fucking started pitting already. So after that, I never carried the 3V version again. During the summer months, I just didn't do it. And I've had several versions of the knife, so obviously I'm a fan of it. But that's the main reason why this isn't on the list of 7. That is the Demco AD 20.5, officially honorable mention status. Okay, starting out at the low end of the totem pole, based on price, we've got this beauty, and it's a classic. This is the Kizer Towser S. I love the entire Towser series. The only issue I ever had was with the Towser K button lock. You know, they fucked that one up pretty bad, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this beauty. This one, it comes in at about $69, and for what they're giving you for that $69 kind of blows your mind. First of all, they're giving us this fantastic utilitarian blade shape, which is, you know, sheep's foot blade shape, giving us this great mid-tier steel in 154 cm. Nice flat, high flat grind here. It does get nice and thin behind the edge, so it is slicey. However, we do get this nice thick blade stock, which is going to be a good, you know, it's going to be durable. More importantly, look at this action, bro. D10, dial the fuck in. She flies out, comes right back to the house, okay? And then as far as ergos goes, you can see the curvature here in the handle. It does fit in there rather nicely. You even got a little finger guard action if you'd like to choke back. But I'm a choke up type of motherfucker. And so what they did was, instead of giving us a finger choil, what they did was they gave us this jimping here, which has no, in the closed position, it doesn't serve any purpose. But when the knife is deployed, that jimping falls right here at the, you know, right at the base of the blade. So as you're choking up, you do have some texture, which is locking your finger in. And then you also get that nice jimping at the spine. Wonderful work knife. Excellent price. Towser K from Kizer. Okay, this next one is about, I think, pretty much the same price, I want to say. There are 2 versions to it, and the one we see here in front of you is the thumb stud version. This is the Vasti Gator. I don't know what the deal is with Vasti and all these goddamn animals. I guess maybe they're animal lovers like myself. But the Gator is a big old girl. And you know how we say, big girls need loving too. I believe this one comes in at about just about 9 inches overall. But for that, we've got this fantastic modified Wharncliffe blade shape with a beautiful satin, or rather stonewash finish. It is in super steel 14C28N, which is a super steel. Shout out to Rochambeau. Action on this is good, you know. Detent is very serviceable. It is a big blade, so it does take quite a strong detent for it to fly out there. It is deployed via your traditional flipper, your thumb studs, as well as that front flipper. Now, we have open back construction, so it's going to be easy access for any type of cleaning you might have. It is riding on cage bearings. My biggest complaint is there is no finger choil. They did do something similar to what the Towser S did, which is they have that jimping, which they use as the, it doubles down. And this knife, it doubles down for when you're choking up a little bit, because that's the same jimping that is on the flipper. It's not as, it's a little bit more slick than the Towser jimping, but this is a big work knife, man. And look at the stock on this thing. Even though it does have some thick blade stock, it is rather thin behind that edge due to that high flat grind. It's a good one, man. Definitely something I'd recommend. That is the Vasti Gator. Okay. Next up is the knife that I put on the list in place of the Demko AD 20.5. And that is the Cold Steel Engage. This one is the 3.5-inch version with the black G10 scales. More importantly, the main feature of this Engage is this Atlas lock. Very, very similar to the Shark lock, okay? On the Shark lock, both of these locks are coil spring locks. So there's a coil spring in these in here that is keeping tension on that locking mechanism. On this one, you pull back, hence, that's how you disengage the lock. Same thing here, you're pulling back and disengaging that lock. I would beg to argue that they basically took the Shark lock, changed the location of a stop pin here and there, and then threw their name on it, I don't know how that relationship between Cold Steel and Demko ended, if it ended on good terms or if it ended on bad terms. But it makes me wonder, shit like this makes me wonder if perhaps they ended on bad terms. Just gossiping here. Don't quote me on any of that. But the main reason why I went with this one is because of the blade steel. S35VN is the blade steel on this version. This is the premium version of the Engage. You can also get it with either AUS 10 or AUS 8, I believe. Nice drop point configuration, beautiful satin finish. We've got a high flat grind. Got this fantastic swedge there at the tip of the blade. Not as thick as I would like to see on a true hard work knife, but due to this locking mechanism, it's going to hold it down and make up for that. And S35VN is a fantastic steel, easy to sharpen, easy to strop, and it's got fantastic corrosion properties. There is no detent similar to the Shark lock, but nonetheless, great work knife. Fairly priced. This one came in at about $145 for this version. Okay, let's get to number 4. This one's got a special place in my heart. This is one of my favorite knives in the collection. Hands down, it is. We're looking at the Cold Steel AD15. And let me explain as to why it's one of my favorite. It's the locking mechanism, the Scorpion lock. I am at a loss for words as to why this locking mechanism isn't on any other knife model besides this one. I don't know if there's some patent issues at hand or what have you, but whoever's got the goddamn patent, fucking throw it on another model for me, or bring us an updated version of this one. But anyways, I digress. We're looking at a beautiful drop point blade in S35VN blade steel. This one's got a black DLC coated finish. Got some nice swedging here, so it's bringing down that stock at the tip, so it's going to pass through materials rather nicely, or rather on the spine, I should say. Nice flat grind on this one. We have a finger-safe locking mechanism, which is that Scorpion lock. For those of you who might not know how the Scorpion lock works, similar to, once again, to the Shark lock, we've got a coil spring down here, keeping tension on this lock bar. As the knife is opening, you can see that the lock bar's got that lock pin right there, traveling on the tang of that blade. You see that that rounded off axis, or rather that rounded off portion of the tang. It rides, meets that cutout, the coil tension on that spring, locks it in position. So literally, as you have the knife in hand, the only thing you're doing is making that lock even stronger. Nice aggressive jimping there, keeps you locked in. We don't have a finger choil, but we do have a nice place for you to choke up on. I love this goddamn knife, man. I really do. Fantastic work knife. I think a couple other guys have it on their list also, and there's a reason for that, because we all know, goddamn it. We know what we're talking about, goddamn it. Okay, this next one, American-made classic. This is the first American-made knife on the list, and we have another one, just giving you guys a heads up. But this is the legendary Spyderco Shaman. There was a point in time when this was my favorite Spyderco model, but it's hands down, it's in the top 3 for sure. But there's just so much shit that I love from Spyderco that, you know, this one got replaced. But nonetheless, that being said, I've got 3 of these in the collection. Reason I went with this one is this one has been modded. I did send it out. First of all, we've got this LMAX blade steel leaf shape configuration. Went ahead and had the finish changed. I had a acid etched stonewash finish, so it's going to hide wear very well. Once again, we've got a finger safe locking mechanism, which is Spyderco's compression lock. I changed out the scales and I put on these Applied Weapons Tech scales. We've got that Lynch Northwest side deep carry pocket clip. Most importantly, we've got that 50-50 finger choil, allowing me to choke up and get that full purchase, no refund. Full purchase, no refund. That's right. Look at that blade stock. This is a workhorse, man. An American classic, an American legend. Detent, dialed the fuck in. She flies out. Comes right back to the goddamn house. Yep. This one is the one of the most top 3 as far as expensive, as far as price goes. These come in base models. Well, actually, the base models just one thing that they do. They really don't upcharge you when they change the steels on these things. They pretty much float around the same price point, which is about $260. As far as I can remember. Shit, I bought so many, I don't know. $260, $280 is normally what they come in at. I think this one came in. I got this one on a trade, so I don't even recall what this one cost me. But like I said, they all come in about the same price point. So that is the Shaman from Spyderco. Okay, next one. This one might be the second smallest or the smallest overall length size on this list. That is the Chavezendencion Street. What can I say? Chavez knows what the fuck they're doing when it comes to making a work knife. And this is an example of that. They've got these ginormous, thick slabs of titanium. Overbuilt work knife, some people may call this as. We've got this fantastic compound grind. We've got this hollow here on the main, flat at the tip. In conjunction with that fantastic swedge there, it's just passing through materials so effortlessly. I've got mine riding on taco bearings. So action is buttery goddamn smooth. Detent, once again, dialed the fuck in. She flies out. Comes right back to the house. Quarter length back spacer. And more importantly, the infamous skull pocket clip. Another fantastic feature on this knife, and how I know Chavez intended it for us working men. No lanyard hole for the weirdos. Ha ha! You weirdos are fucked. Yeah, man. This is a great knife. They also, you know, this fantastic sharpening choil there, you can double down that and slide in the tip of the finger. You know how we like it, fellas, just a tip. So you can, you know, get that nice purchase on there. That aggressive jimping also will lock your thumb in. So this is a great work knife, the Chavezendencion Street. Last up on the list, and y'all should have figured, gotta have a Hinderer on this working knife list. And what better than this modded one? This is the Hinderer Eclipse. Originally, this was a flipper. And originally, it had a flat grind. But I changed the game on that. We've got S45 VN blade steel. Now rocking this fantastic hollow grind, courtesy of BGM Knives. Also had them do the swedge at the tip. Also had that flipper delete. And also had that goddamn finger choil put in there. Knife is riding on skiffs. Detent, dial the fuck in. So that full purchase, no refund is fully capable. Wonderful work knife. Look at the blade stock on this thing. I know I've been saying wonderful work knife a lot in this video, but, you know, it's the truth. I'd never shit you. Frame lock is the locking mechanism. Wonderful work knife. There we go again. Wonderful work knife. Open back construction. Legendary work knife from Hinderer. And that is the Eclipse. There you fuckers have it. 7 work knives, I believe, that you can get right now, as a matter of fact. I think the only one you might have a problem with, but you'll still be able to find it, is going to be the Hinderer. You know, they sell out almost instantaneously or within a couple of hours, but it is attainable. The rest of them should have no problem. You know, I do know that as of making this video this morning, I think I was able to locate every one of these, to be honest with you. Yeah, every one of them, except for the Hinderer. What do you fuckers think? Do you like my list? Tell me all about it. Light them comments up. Remember, we're at war, people. We are currently at war with all the lanyard weirdos. I love them and I mean it, but we're still at war. Until the next time, cut something, cut someone, just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!